Okay, welcome back, everyone. Okay. Can you hear me well? Yes, cool. Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, so based on one feedback from one of you saying in the afternoon you usually feel like tired after the lunch. So so let me start with some thinking process. So we won't jump directly into the code now. So I want to discuss about, so we are working on the front end, right? The React app. And one of the questions is when I use reducer, how many reducers should I create for my React app? How many reducer? Because if you have a lot of reducers, it's gonna be like too complicated. But if you have like one reducer that covers too many things, that's also make your reducer function too complicated and hard to maintain. Right? So the question is, how many reducers should I design or create for my React app? And what is the thinking process to design the Redux store for the application? Okay, so let me start with understand your application first. How about this? Give me a business idea that you have in your mind, or one of your plan to build the final project. Anyone can you give me one idea, and we can discuss on that idea about the topic how to design. Any ideas so far, guys, for your final project? First come, first serve, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. So if you don't want to say, I will pick one of you randomly. Okay, Tiên. Do you have any idea so far about final project or what you want to do after this course? Tiên. Okay, do you have a microphone? Can you tell us about your idea?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking to build a not new website with the product is from the natural nut.
So your product is what is your product? Okay.
Not milk.
Sorry, I cannot hear you. Not milk. Okay. So nut milk. What is nut milk? So it's a kind of like a product from milk, right? Organic milk. Okay. Organic milk. Okay, so you want to sell this product on the website?
Yes, sir. With sponsor, we can make the payment on the website
Okay.
with the fee structure.
So basically, it's a e-commerce
E-commerce, yeah.
website. Okay, so you want to sell organic milk on an e-commerce website, and user can see the products and pay for the product. Do you have
Yes.
deliver department? Like do you
Like Grab, normally now they have now Grab and Gojek, I think, payment. I think
Okay,
I can
so
do.
your website doesn't maintain the deliver service, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, so you have a homepage that shows the product, and when user order the product,
Yeah.
you as the admin should get some notification, right? And then you can look into the order and send the product to the customer based on the address that they give you when they order the product. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Tim. So the idea is quite simple, right? So you have a product to sell and an e-commerce website. Right? So now let's think about how should you organize the data? Okay, so basically all of the project or all of the idea should start with how you should organize your data. Right? So we will think about how to organize data first. So in your data, definitely you should have something to store the products. Right? So inside the products, this is going to be a JSON. So let me describe it as a JSON format. So you might have product ID, something. You might have the name of the product. Right? I have no knowledge about organic milk, but maybe they are different. They are separate in different types, right? Or categories. Uh, the product. Maybe you have some like detailed information about the product. It depends on your product you want to sell. But you can definitely add more fields here in to describe your product. Okay. Next
Ten
question, Ian, do you
types.
want user to register to buy your product, or they could be like anyone who just
I think it's the best way to log in. They will connect with their Facebook because at the moment everyone has
okay,
Facebook
so
and it's more
you
convenient.
want authenticated user only. So you allow authenticated on user only to buy the product. Okay, so that means you need something to store the user information. Right? So in the database, this could be the name of the table, or in the professional language they call it those are entity of your website, the main objects uh, of your website. So you have one entity to store the information about the products. You have one entity to store the information about the user, right? And everything should have some ID to be used. So for the user, you might have name, you might have email, uh, etc.
Phone number.
Yeah, phone number, etc. So I don't want I won't write everything here, but you got. So so this is the user, right? The user, the product. Now we need to describe the action that user like can buy a product or order a product. So that should be stored in something called orders. Uh, and inside the order here, we should have ID again for sure, and we should have the list of products because this should be a list, right? A list of product ID. So because one user, you want them to buy, to order many products at once, right? Sorry, Mark, I only serve one person, but the concept is still the same, right? The concept here, Tian's idea is having a website to sell organic milk products, and the website only allow authenticated user to order the product. So we have a user tables here to store the users. We have products tables to store the products. And we have orders here to store the order of the user. And so inside order, we have a list of products that user want to order. We might have a list of quantities. Is how many products. So here is just a list of unique product ID, right? And here it could be 2, 3, 4, the number of product they want to order, right? Or you can organize this in another format. Yeah. This is another option. You can organize the data like this. This one is a list of product, and inside that you have an object, and inside that you have the product ID and the quantity here, which is 3 example. So you can, it depends on, it's your choice, right? You can organize your orders like this to have the products and the quantities are 2 separate array, and or you can manage a list of products with the objects that contain the product ID and the quantity of the project here. Yeah, maybe the size too, right? Maybe here you might have not even the quantity, but also the size of the product they want to order, right? Maybe this is medium. Okay, so if you add size, then I think the second way here is better. Here to organize a list of product that user order from your website. Size here, maybe this one is large for the product ID 1. This is the product ID 2, etc. Okay, so for the order here, for sure we need an address to send the product to, and we need a status. So this status, it could be paid, or it could be pending, or it could be delivering. So it's describe the status. Right? So it's describe the status of the order. So when people order it and paid, the status is going to be paid, right? And then when you work on the order, you check whether you have the order in your store. This may be pending, right? And when you, or this doesn't make sense, I don't know. But maybe when you decided, okay, let's take a Grab guy and send it to the customer, you change the status of the order to delivery. So the customer can know, okay, this is on the way to me. Right? And after the Grab guys finish deliver the product, you can change the status to finish. So with the status here, you can control the status of the orders. Okay. So basically that's it, right? Basically to maintain your e-commerce website, you only need a list of products, a list of users, and the orders. Right? Later on, you can think about giving user more benefit or more a marketing strategy. You can give them some promote code, right? Or whatever. Then you can create a new table for promote code. Right. And here inside the order, you can add the code here, and depend on the code, you can give them some discount. Right? That's all depend on your business idea. Right? So let me keep it simple for now to have only 3 tables. That's one contain all of the list of products, contains the users and the orders here. So with that, we have enough data to organize a website. So now let's think about how to design the backend side. So because it's serving the data, and we need to develop the backend first and test it with Postman to make sure that we can run our business. And later on, we can think about the React here to connect to the backend. So let's come back to our note here. Now let's think about how many API should we create? How many API should we create here? So very simple one at the beginning, right? So this one depends on the feature of your application. So in order to think about this, you need to think about the features of your app. And the first feature is users should see the list of products on the website. And for this feature, you need to create an API for get, right? Get, and let's call it API/products to get all of the products, right? And the access you allow is public, which means anyone can open the website and see the list of products, right? So this should be one API in the backend side, and this one will return the list of products. Right? So maybe you can add some pagination here, page and per page here. Right? You want to show 10 products for one page. Right? So you can set up a get API service for this. Okay. Next is user need to log in. So user need to log in. That means user need to send the username and password to your backend, right? So and this should be a post request to API slash user maybe slash login. So this should be an API, and the access here is also public. You allow anyone can enter and use email and password to log in. Maybe we add the register here because it's also public. Right? For register, we might create post API user register, and this also allow anyone to register for a new account. Okay, so after user can log in, user can order products. So, so here we are thinking about the backend side, right? So there are no UI here. You will create the React app to user for choosing the products, choosing the quantities, whatever. But at the end, they need to send the data to the backend, right? So we only think about how the backend should receive the data and then interact with the database. So here, when user finish order some products, right? So this should be send the data to API, let's say orders, maybe orders. So you're going to post some data to API orders. And this one, the access to this one, it should be authenticated user. Only authenticated user can order products. So that means before you pass the data to this controller that handle this API, you should verify the user. Right? And so Hua will teach you how to do it later on, but basically you might need to add a middleware example, like authenticated before the controller. That's all, nothing special. But that is to control that only authenticated user can send data to the order here. Okay, and basically that is for the user or for the customer side, right? For the customer side, they can see the list of product, they can log in or they can register a new account and then they can order, right? They can order products. But we want to add one more thing here is the admin side. The admin can see the list of order, right? Because you want to control your business, right? So when the admin want to see the list of order, this is going to be a GET request to API orders. So notice that it's different to this API. So this one is a POST request and this one is a GET request. Okay, so the access for this one is authenticated user. Only authenticated user can see the list of orders, right? But not everyone can see that, right? So we have and only admin can see that. And this one is called authorization. So authenticated user and also that user need to be an admin. So that's called authorization. So to control the access to this API. So only admin can see the list of orders. Okay, next is after admin see the list of order, admin can change the status of the order, can change the status of the order to like delivery example. So you take the product in your store, give this to the grab bike deliver, and then you come to your website and change the status of the order to delivery. And this is another API. This should be post API. Sorry, this should be put. You want to change something in the orders. Followed by an order ID. Right? You pick a specific order and you change the status to deliver. So that is, we'll send a put request to change or to update the specific order ID with the status, something. Right? And the access to this one is also need to be an authenticated and admin user. Okay, and this one also serve that when it's finished, admin can also change this to finish. Okay, and so you can see here, this is how we can design the API. So it depends on the feature you want to add into your application, right? Yeah, depend on the business, you can add more here, but basically that's it. Right? That's it for a e-commerce website that can sell something. The user can order something and the admin can see the list of order and work on it to change the status of the order to finish the order or still keep working on it. Yeah, basically that's it, right? For the API part. And for the now we move to the front end, right? So after we build an Express app, finish all of the API, test it with Postman, we come to the React side, React app. So for the React app here, first thing is how to design the store, right? How to design the Redux store to maintain the state of the application. And here, one of the tips is if you want to interact with the table products, then you create a reducer for products, a reducer for users, and a reducer for orders. So the number of reducer of your application usually follow the entities of your application. So we know that we will interact with the products table a lot, like get the products, add the products, right? Okay, I forgot to admin can add new product, right? That is another feature. Admin can add product. So this one is going to be a post request to API/products. And the access here is only allowed for admin only. So yeah, so in the front end side, right? In the front end side, we have a product for sure, a reducer for the product. Let's call it product reducer. We need a user reducer, or sometimes we call it auth reducer, right? Because it's contain the authentication and authorization of the users. So auth user maintain the user information of the current user. So product reducer, auth reducer, and also we have the order reducer to maintain the state of the order. So you can see here is we will need 3 reducer, and it's enough to maintain the data in the React site. And it's follow the number of entities in your project. No more, no less. It's just enough. Okay, and yeah, so inside each reducer here, product reducer example. So inside we inside product reducers. Sorry, let me copy it. So we might have a list of products, right? For sure, list of products. We might have so when user click on a product, right? Selected product. We might have loading for sure. Loading is true or false. So products here is contain the list of products when user click on home page and see a list of products. When they click on one product, they goes to the product detail, and it's gonna be inside the selected products. Loading is when you want to connect to the server, and you need to wait for the data. Then you turn loading here to false. What else do we need? I think that's it, right? Okay, for the auth reducer here, usually we have auth reducer, this one. Let's say loading when people click on login by false. And then after that, we might have the user information is stored here, right? We might have is admin or is true or false, right? Or we might have is authenticated. It depends, right? It depends on your design, but we can bring those information out of the user here to check it quickly. Right? Yeah, so that's it. The auth reducer. We have loading user is admin is authenticated. For the order reducer is basically very similar to this one. Order reducer is in the computer's perspective is nothing different than the product. So, we have a list of order. We can have a selected order and the loading true false. Okay. And after we have the reducer, we can think about how our UI look like. The website, let's give an example here. This is a tiki.vn, which is an e-commerce website. So you might have a list of products showing on the website like this, right? So how you design the website, how it look like, is now HTML, CSS. Right? And so list of products here, and how the information of the product will be shown in the cart here. Right? How we when we hover the mouse, the cart change. When we click on it, it should lead us to another route that's contain the product ID and show the product detail here. And when people click on order, it should change to a page that's ask for the payment information and get the confirmation, and then store it, right? And then send a post request to save that order in the API. Right? For those things is poor React and front-end side, UI, UX, etc. Right? But now let's think about in the backend side, when user log in, right? So when user click on login and click submit, your React will send the user information to this API. And this API should return the user information to the React side that it can store in here. And then also verify user whether it's an admin or it's just a normal user. Sorry, this is a user login or not, or this is admin or not. So next, when they click on homepage, your React will send a request to this one to get the list of products. When they click on one product, okay, we are missing one feature here, right? So when user click on one product, right, then that's going to be a GET request to API slash products slash ID to get the information of one product only, right? And this one should be public. Right? Anyone can click on one product. Yeah, so that is the thinking process. Actually, you don't, we haven't write any code for now, right? But we actually have designed most of the feature of our application and have a good plan for organizing the data, how many API we should create, and how the user on the React side should look like. Yeah, so this should be something you start with your final project idea. So don't, so solution before code, right? So don't directly jump into code. Let's spend time making coffee, think about having a good plan before you start designing your application or start really type the first line of code. Okay, so I hope that's helpful. Any question, guys? Yeah, you can see this concept is very general, right? If you change this to books, right, then you have the same, right, the same process to build a e-commerce website to sell books. Or let's change this to a dating app. Right? A dating app is not an e-commerce website. Then the products here is now changed to let's say customer, right? And here you must have a very important feature is the gender, etc. Right? So, and when user order a product, it's now changing to when user swipe to the right or left, right? I don't remember exactly, but you got me, right? Or like accept the date example, right? It depends, right? But this concept is very general, right? You can apply to any project idea. So basically, those API is very general, very basic for any kind of application. Yes. So let me bring it back to Tian's idea of selling organic milk. So you're gonna compete with Vietnam milk, right? How to connect our e-commerce app to banking transactions. Okay, banking transaction. So we will talk about it when we learn swipe. what is it? Stripe, yeah. Stripe, Stripe, yeah. So Khoa, are you there? Yeah, okay. Basically, we're going to use a API that will handle of the credit card payment for us, and so we will rely on third-party service because manually connect to banking transaction. Once you are not allowed to do it, right? We need to use some third-party service to handle that, and but the good news is it's quite easy to use to integrate into your application. You might need to pay some fee for that, but they handle everything else for you. I think we have that in our plan. Right, testing, authentication, purchasing here. That's going to use purchasing. We're going to integrate the API, Stripe API, into our app, so that user can input their credit card information, and the Stripe API handle that information for us. Okay, so that means, example, in our API or in our plan, we might have a third-party service here called Stripe. This is going to be one module that the controller will send the information to this API and finish the payment process. So it will be handled in the backend side. The bank information. Okay. I need to be careful to answer this question. Okay, nope. You shouldn't too, right? Yeah, you shouldn't store it. Yes, like Hua said, we will forward the process to the payment gateway, and even you can, you shouldn't, because it is illegal. Okay, sorry, give me 1 minute. I need to close the door. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Payment, we will use the third-party service. So third-party service is going to be one part of our application, but it's not the core. Right? The basic structure is look like this. You will have React with Redux, and React can connect to some route in the Express backend, and the data will be handled by the controller, and then you will have a database here, and the controller can talk with the database to store the data, and then responds back to the React side. This is the core of your application. Right? Let me add the database here. Right? So this is the DB that the controller can talk to store or get the data from the database. And after this week or tomorrow, Hua will talk about or teach you guys about the database here. And then we finish the core structure of a full stack application. And next week, we will like slow down and make sure you guys understand any piece of in this structure. So after this week, you will fully understand, like, or you have learned a fully functionality of a full stack application. Okay. So I hope that is the warm-up before we come back to our code here. Any question, guys, about? So for me, this kind of knowledge is very important, right? Even if I list it down here, you can find it's easy, right? It's not so complicated. But like before you code, you should have something documented like this. This is like a map, your like mind map. One is it help you to not be overwhelmed, and second, you know exactly. It's like a to-do list, right? So whether you finish this or this or this or this, just okay. So let's move on. Okay, so let's come back to our React application, this one here. And I'm going to implement the task 3, configuration of the Redux store. We will have something new, but most of the steps here is a repeat from the previous project, the social block. Okay, we start with creating a .env in the in the React app. It's gonna be outside the source here. .env, and so when you create your React app with the create React app, you should create the constant in the .env start with the React app here like this. And we're going to use a .env to define the environment. That's our application is connecting to this backend API. The reason to do this is we're going to use this backend API a lot in our application, and we don't want to change this when we change the server. So the server, so now it's running locally on your computer, but later on, if we deploy the Express app here, we want to have one place here. We only need to change this to the server API, right? So we don't need to come to every place in our code to change this value. Right? So we store it here in the .env. And the way to get this value out is very similar to express.js. You do process.env .react app backend API. So it's exactly like the way you get the environment value from the express.js side. Okay, so when you change this .env, because it is outside of the source folder, you can see here, you should restart your application. You should restart. Okay, so oops. So next, we're going to configure Redux in our application, and let's come to store here and paste the code here. This is the function to create the store. This is the function to integrate Redux func as the middleware, and this is the function to integrate the dev tools in our application so that we can see our state in the Redux here. Yeah, and after we have that, we need to configure the store to provide the store to our entire application at index.js. So here we need to import the store from Redux store, right? Redux store. And here we're going to have a provider. That's set up with our store to provide the store to the entire application. Let's wrap it. Let's wrap our application with this provider. Okay. And then in our API.js here, we configure our Axios. Axios to connect the base URL is our backend API, getting from the .env file and followed by API slash here. Save it. And next is the, so here in this application, we have one reducer only, which is a meme reducer. Because so far that is the only entity that we are going to build. You shouldn't. This API is because we define our Express.js, right? In Express.js, we define all of the URL is start with /API. So if you don't want this, then you also need to remove it in the Express.js application, in the server app. No. So here is API, and then remember in your action when you define API, when you call API get example, don't put API here. I see. In the environment, it's API here, right? Okay. Yes. Correct. So let's remove this one. Yes. Correct. Yeah, let's remove API from here. So this only store the React backend API. Let's remove this one too. Yes. Yeah, kudos for you, luck. Okay, so the backend API. Okay, so let me add slash here, right? Because we don't have slash in this value. Should we add a slash here? Okay, so let's remember this doesn't contain the slash. Okay, and here we add slash API slash. Good. Cool. So that is the API.js. So next is we're going to have one reducer, which is the meme reducer only, and then we put it in the index.js of the reducer. Save it here. And for now, we're going to implement the first feature that's get memes request. The user can see a list of memes, like a list of memes in our database. So to create one features like that, we start with the meme.constant, right? constant.js. So we create three type of action: the request, success, and failure for that. And we need to create the actions for that. It's going to be in meme.actions.js. Save it. And here we create index.js, which we export everything from meme.actions. And at the end, we add the reducer for the meme. Reducer here, create a new file called meme.reducer.js. And for get meme request, we just turn the loading to true. If it's a fail, then we turn the loading to false. Otherwise, we merge the memes in the payload to the list of memes and the total page number here, and turn the loading to false. Question from Mark: do we wrap the router in a provider tag in app.js? We wrap it in the index.js, and the provider is wrapping our entire application. And inside app.js is the router. So the Redux store is also wrap the router too. Right? So it's wrap our, the Redux store is wrapping our entire application. Okay, so after we finish that, we have an error. When we import Redux store here, when we import Redux store in the index.js, this one is not correct. Why is that? Because we defined it incorrectly. So yes, so it should be like in the current folder, Redux and store. Cool. Okay, so now when we open this, nothing changed. Yeah, but we have 6 images here. Right? We have 6 images here. And in our console, no, nothing happened. Right? Nothing happens. We only we can check that we have a how can I minimize this? So we have meme here. Start with the initial state where memes is empty array, total page number 1, loading false. So we can see the state of our application defined in meme reducer. But we haven't dispatched any action so that we don't have any data for now. We just successfully configure the Redux store. Here, thus is for the step 4. Step 5 is when we start dispatching action. And the page that show the list of memes is in the gallery page, here. Okay, so here we have a use state hooks to maintain the page number here. And we have dispatch to dispatch action. We connect loading in the global store here to this component, and we also connect the total page number and the memes from the reducer, meme reducer here. Right? We get all of those values integrated into gallery page. So here we need to import use state. We need to import dispatch. We also need to import selector, and okay. So after that, we need to dispatch the action. We dispatch the action meme request when component did mount and when user change the page number. Show detail here is a function to handle when user click on a meme, but we haven't implemented for now. Okay, so next step is to integrate the loading and provide the state to the children component. So in the meme list here, we pass the list of memes to the meme list. We pass the page number, set page number, and total page number to the pagination meme. This is exactly what we have done in the GitHub issues. So here we remove the old component with the component that we pass the state to it, like this. Okay, one more thing to change is in the meme list here. In the meme list here, we need to change this meme card. Okay, so before that, let me run the code here. We still need to import something here in the gallery page. First of all, is the use effect. Import use effect. Import the clip loader too. Import clip loader from React spinners. And also import the meme actions. I think I can auto import it here. Remove S and bring it back. Okay, so now click on gallery. Click on gallery. In the consoler, we have an error, right? Page not found. Yeah, because we okay. So we are having a wrong API URL here. We have two API. The point that Luck brought us. Right? The reason is when I change the value in an environment, I forgot to restart the server. I need to restart the server so that it get the new value of the React backend here. Let's wait a moment. Okay, and now you can see the response is 200, and now we have a list of memes here, and inside here we have the ID of the memes and um, the original image part or the output meme part. And let me copy this one. Let me copy this one here. In order to show this image, we need to we can put it here at localhost 5000 images and the name of the image. And when I hit enter, I can see the meme here. Right? So if you put this in the React app, you can also show this image on the React app. Right? Yeah, but here we have some special cases where we have the absolute path, right? This absolute path. Okay, so I think I should remove them. Um, so let's clean our data. Let's remove everything here. Remove all of the image and also remove all of the data of the meme. Let's bring it back to an empty meme, empty list. Override. Save it. Okay, so we don't have any memes now in the server. And when I refresh this one, I have nothing here, right? Because we have just removed everything because we have some mixed data which is wrong, right? Let me test it, come back to our Postman because we have created the Postman to test our application, right? We can just rerun it. And then we have the correct form of memes here. So let me run it 3 times. Now come back to the front end, refresh. We see 3 images. And in the response here, all of the data, we have only 3 memes, and now all of the data here is following the correct concept in the path. So next step is we need to show the image here, but instead of this default image, default meme. And to do that, here we have some logic to change the source of the path. And first of all, we need to get the backend API, right, which is localhost 5000, and then followed by a path, which we will remove the public here because take a look at this. From the image path, right, from the image path that we have here, in order to show the image, we need to remove the public here. So that's the idea of split the URL based on the public and select the second one. To be more specific, what I want is get this dot split split by the public slash and select the first one. So it will give me this path of this string. Right? So this is just string manipulation in JavaScript. And then we add the local, we add the backend URL here to show the image. Okay, and thus is going to be in the in our React open name list, right? And we change the default image here. We change this with, oops, sorry. I need to get back the code from here. Okay. We might have a problem with the slash, with the slash. Okay, I might need to add one slash. Yes. Okay, so this is the three memes serving by our backend API. When you open the console log of the Express.js, you can see three get requests to the public resource. Right? Get images and followed by the meme here. And yeah, so basically showing one image here is similar to having a get request to the server to get this image, which is stored in the public images. Okay. Okay. So next is the error handling. Am I too fast, or do I need to slow down more? Yes. Meme list again, sure. Okay. This is my meme list. Okay. Okay, so let me finish this and then I will support you guys with your bug. Uh, so now let's move on to task 6. So task 6 here is our error handler. Basically, it's showing the alert message in the React app, showing some alert message here. And I'm reuse the alert message from the previous project, so nothing new here. For the action, we create alert.actions.js. We also need to create alert.constants.js, and we also have a alert reducer.js. And first of all, we have two kind of action is to add a new alert and remove the old alert. In the action, we have only one function to set the alert, and after 5 seconds, we remove it from the store. And then we add this line to the alert.js, index.js, so that we can easier import it later on. For the alert reducer, this one is exactly follow the same code from the previous project. Okay, and in reducer index.js here, we need to import the alert reducer from alert.reducer, and here we call it alert reducer. Okay. So next is the UI. For the UI, we put alert message.js in the containers. Container we file alert message.js. Here we put the UI component, which is the alert from the React Bootstrap. Okay, and next is we're going to go to browse.js, route index.js. Where's that? It should be in our container route index.js. And here is where we define our layout. Right? So we put alert message below the, okay, before the switch to the pages here. Okay, let's save it. Okay, and we will dispatch an error or the alert in the API.js where we import the store and the alert action, and then dispatch any error here when something wrong happened. Yes. We dispatch an action alert with the error messages that's sent from the server with the danger. Okay, now let's test this. Let's come to meme here and let's change the API here to something wrong. So let's put 1, 2, 3 here, save it, and okay, so we have an error here, right? Page not found. That should be shown here. Okay, we can see the alert, but we cannot see the error message. What is wrong with that? When we open the Redux, right, we can see set alert here with the type ID, but not the content. Okay, refresh again. We should see, okay, alert with the state here contains. Okay, so it doesn't contain the content of the alert. The content of the alert. So let's check alert actions. Alert action. The message here is the payload here, right? In alert producer, industrial state. Okay, somehow we don't have that. So this is the error. And in our API here, let me console log the error message here. Okay, it's undefined. So error dot message is undefined. I see. Okay, my bad. So this is the response, and inside the response we have error and then follow the message. So it should be error dot message, not directly error dot message. Okay, so now we can see page not found. So we look into the response here, right? So the message is inside an object called error, because in our API, the Express API, we respond, in our response, the message is wrapped in an object called error. So yeah, that's why we need to error.error.message. Okay, so we can see the error. So let me fix the meme action, get it back to work. So 3 meme, correct? Okay, move on to task number 7 to show the uploaded image and store it in the global store. Yes, Mark. Error.error, yes. The API. Error.error.message. Okay. Okay. So it's already 3 o'clock. So let's have a break, guys. Let's have a break, and we will get back at 3:30. Okay. Yeah, but let's have a Q&A first, right? So Q&A first before we break. Okay, so in task 7, we implement a feature that user can upload an image, and then we show that image on the homepage. On the homepage here, user can click on upload an image. Example, this one, and it should show that image on the screen so that they can decide to continue go ahead with that image as the background of the meme or not. Okay, and to implement that feature, the idea is we will create a selected meme in the global store. And based on the value of this selected meme, we will update the UI to show that image. And a new technique here in this step is how to create or how to show the image that is uploaded or by the input file. So we have an input file that user can upload an image, right? And how can we show that image? How can we show that image on the screen? Right? And the key technique here is using something called window.url.create object URL. This one will take a file and create an URL for that file that can run on your browser, on the browser. So, okay, so let me implement this first and then we can analyze this more in detail. Okay, so here in this to create a selected meme in the global store, meme reducer store here, we're going to create an action to set the selected meme. But this action is a little bit different than the normal action. In this action, we don't need to connect to the server. We don't need to connect to the server, so everything is still on the React side. So we don't need to request success or failure. Right? We have only one action to set the value for the meme. Right? And this doesn't require any API call here. In the meme action, we add a function called set selected meme, and here we just dispatch the set selected meme with the value that we want to set to the meme in the global reducer store. And in the meme reducer, we add one more case for the set selected meme. In meme reducer, we add one more case here for the set selected meme that we just put the value in the payload into the object set selected meme, which is a new object in the state of the app. For some UI purpose, we're going to add some CSS into the CSS file, app CSS. And then in the home page is where the main functionality of this feature. Home page, let's come to home page here. So here, there are something new in this technique too. The input file here is different to the input text that we usually work on. To access to the value of this input file, we use a new React hooks called useRef. And so useRef here is a React hooks. It works like a reference. An input file here will be the reference to the input component. This input box will have a reference maintained by the input file. By using this syntax, create input file as the useRef, and in the input component here, ref equal input file, we can later on access to this input using this input file. So this input file here is now referred to this input box. And when user upload a file, we can access to that file using input file.current.files. So that's this is a new React hook that of this feature. So okay, and so here so use this dash is nothing new, right? Use selector is nothing new here. Right? So let's copy this here, and then let's input use ref. Let's import dispatch, import selector. Right. Okay. And here is the function to handle the action when user upload an image. So let me paste this down here and explain it. So when user import or upload an image, first of all, we will call the input file, which is the reference of the input, and get the list of files that user uploaded. First, we will store the file in something called uploaded image. So this one will store the value of the file. Right? And this one is the syntax to create an object URL to that file. So I will show you the value of this one later on. Okay, so question from Zoom. Can useRef be used in any HTML tag? Yes. HTML tag is so basically those are JSX, right? And you can use the useRef for any kind of JSX component. Okay, so handle submit image, we just create it here for the later use. We have a cancel button. So after user upload an image, we also need to allow user to change their mind, right, to cancel the action. And cancel the action is basically reset the select min in the global store to none. So cancel is remove that image and remove everything as the selected min in the global store. For the UI here, we have the first thing here. This one is to cover everything with a selected image. I will show you the effect later on. And the selected min here is the condition to show the input box or not. So we have a condition here. If selected meme is not null, then we show the memes. We show the image tag here with the source to the local image URL. Right? So this one is created by this line. Take the file and create an object URL to that file. Right? So this will be here to show the image, on the screen. This one is the blur background. So just some fancy stuff, right? It's optional, right? You don't have to put it, but I just feel that feature is nice and I put it there. And here in this condition, if we this one is for selected meme.id, right? So this one is for the future feature that when we click on a meme and import a meme into this to edit it. But for now, we don't have any ID. Right? We don't have any ID, so that it will always show these button groups, which contain two buttons: take this image or cancel. So after user upload an image, we give them an ability to take this image as the background of the meme and start adding text on it, or cancel to choose another image. And okay, so here we need to import something, the button group from the React Bootstrap, also the button from the React Bootstrap, and button group button from React Bootstrap, and that's this. Okay. We have something wrong here at line 54, this one. Did I just copy everything? Okay, let me close this. Selected meme, then show this. Otherwise, show this. It should be correct. And here, sorry, buttons. Oops. So when I auto imported, I did a mistake here. It's not buttons. Okay, so next is the meme action haven't imported as import. Okay, import everything. Don't make a mistake when you use the trick to auto import. And okay, so this is the output. When I click on an image, I can upload an image, and then in the background, the image is used as the blur background behind the scenes, and the image that user uploaded is is showing here. So when you when I click on this one, you can see the image tag here. The source is upload, and this is our React localhost running on 3000, right? And this is just a random name that this function generate for us. This function. Taken a file and translate it into a URL that we can integrate into an image tag and show whatever user have uploaded here. When I click cancel, it's bring back, it set the selected meme here to null, and bring back the input file features, and that I can click on and select another image. So the background will be blur, and the image will be shown here. Okay, so that's it for this feature. The main idea or the key here is the use ref to reference to the input file, and a new type of action. Actually, it's not new, right? But this is the first time maybe you can see that you can create an action that is not connected to the API. Then you don't have to create the request success or failure. Right? So it's just a action that you can control the data in the reducer store, in the state of the app. Okay, and all of the other logic is just ternary expression, and handle, cancel, or yeah, that's all. Okay, and in the next step here, we're going to implement the feature of this button. So right now it doesn't work. The feature of this is upload this image to the API, and then the API will create a new memes based on this image. And because we're going to connect to the API, we need to create 3 types of action: request, success, and failure for 3 different phases of the request. Okay, so let's start with define this action constants in meme.action. Save it and define a new function in the meme actions here. And remember to add this here. Save it. Okay, so in this create meme request, we're going to use form data to send the image to the server. Yes. Okay, and in the reducer, meme reducer here, we need to add some cases here, right? So when you create a new meme request, is when the action is create meme request, we just want to turn loading to true, exactly like this action. So I just need to add it here. So when create meme success, let's copy this to a specific case here, different to this one. Right? We want to merge the meme into the selected meme. But don't forget to copy everything else in the selected meme, right? The other thing we have in selected meme is the local URL that we use in the home page. So in the state, we already have the updated image and the local image URL. Right? So when we receive the data from the server, we don't want to lose those information. And that's why in the meme here, in the meme reducer here, we copy everything and then add the information about the meme into the selected meme when we successfully get the data of the meme from the server. So when is something wrong happen, we do nothing and just change the loading to false. And in the home page, the only thing we need to do is dispatch the create meme request here in this function. We don't need any params for this. We just dispatch the create meme request, and we pass the uploaded image, which store the file, which store the file here. Now let's save it and come to here. Let me upload an image. Let's say this one. Okay, and now let's take a look at the server log. Yes. The server side. When I take this image, right? Okay, some error happened here, but we have the image is we have a post request here, right? And the error is showing here in the consoler. We can see the error is unexpected U in JSON at position 0. Okay, let's debug it. We can see the image has been uploaded here, right? And then something wrong happened with the something wrong happened that is cannot generate a meme from this image. Okay, so now how can we debug this? So first we need to check the request, whether we send the correct data to the server. So in the request, we are sending a post request to memes, right? And the base URL is localhost 5000/API, which is correct. And inside that, we have the form data that's contain the image, and this is successfully loaded here, right? Okay, so in the meme controller, where should be the error? Create meme, right? It will create, we'll call the controller create meme here. URL create meme. Okay, let me injection controller. We can see the file here. Let me check whether we can get the text. We haven't sent any text to the server, right? So we expect to see nothing here, right? It should be nothing here. So click this again, and okay, something wrong happened before this line, so that we haven't seen anything. Right. Okay, let's put it here. Okay, so before the file is undefined, right? So the text is undefined, and thus maybe the error, right? So if the text is undefined, our code will break, right? Okay, if the text is undefined, then after this line, it will wrap an array on the undefined object. So let me send the request again. And here I expect to see, yes, so it's wrapped an array around the undefined. And then after that, it tried to map, to run the map on the array of undefined, and then try to pass the undefined object using the JSON pass here, which is wrong, right? Which is totally wrong here. Okay, so this is an error from our backend API. To fix this, we need to cover the case that the text is not defined. Right? Text is not defined. How should we do it? We should check whether text is defined or not. Right? Okay. It's a little bit ugly here. Okay, I think I will put the condition. I will put the condition here. So if text has a value, then we pass the text. Otherwise, no, it's not something I want. Let's do it. Let's define it very clear here. Like if we have the value from text, then we run those lines. So if text has something, then we try to convert it here. Otherwise, we will assign an empty array for text. Right. Okay, let's try again with the tag image. And okay, so now we have an meme here, right, with the uploaded image. And So now the meme contain no text at all, right? But we have created it. And in gallery now, we can see the new meme is here in gallery. There are no text on it, but we have created this meme. So next is we're going to add some text on the meme here. But that's this. We fix the error on the backend side, and okay. Sorry about that, Mark. Should we add something not to allow duplicate image in the backend side? That could be a feature that you integrate into your app. The challenge is how can you know this image is the same with this image? How can you know when user upload an image, it's exactly the same image you have in your folders? So there are some trick to do that. Maybe you can store the size of the image. Maybe you can store the how many bytes of the image. Check pixels or something. That is to check the pixels is not something I recommend, right? Because if you change one image, it could be different. Right? Yeah, for me, we can do some machine learning stuff here to recognize we have this image already in the database. But so far, so far our database, which is the meme JSON here, contain only the meme data, right? So we still don't store the information about the image. I mean the detailed information about the original image. Right? So I think one thing you can do is after learning database, we can use something more suitable for that case. Right? So right now, if you extend this JSON file to store another list of images, this could be too complicated and it's not something we do in the real life. So it doesn't make sense to learn or to expand the complexity of your application in that way. So we can think about it after we learn MongoDB and then change the way we maintain the data here using MongoDB and then think about more advanced feature like that. Yes, correct. Okay, so that is something we can discuss later after we finish this. So let's finish this first. We are in task 9, right? And we are moving to something quite important I want to share in this project. Is the task 9 here to control. So to start edit this image with some text here. So now the feature is we have the meme already in the database, right? In the backend side, and we want to update the text on the meme here. We want to update the text here, and we want to put some content here and click submit. Right. So right now it doesn't work, but we want that implement that feature. So task 9, right? And we will work on the side menu here. So right now in the side menu, we have a bunch of JSX with a form, and we have just hard code, right? Two kind of form to input the text. Right? And here in this feature, we want to write the code that can change dynamically based on some constant value. Example for the alignment X here, based on the GIMP documentation, we have 3 options: horizontal align left, center, or right. for the alignment Y, we have also 3 options. We have 2 options for the colors and a few options for the font size. So here in this file, we're going to change this so that when we modify this constant, all right? This is a list of constant. When we modify this, the UI also follow the constant that we set up here. So that we need to write the form dynamically. And we might have like not only 2 texts, we might have like just 1 text. I mean, just 1 form to input the text here, or we could have 3 or 4 form of text. Right? So how can we write it dynamically so that when we want to have 1 text, then we keep like 1 object to define the text here. When we want to have 3 form to input the text, then we just need to add 2 more object or 1 more object about to describe the text that we want to add here in this object that maintain the text. Right. Okay, so let's start with define the constant here. So this is all based on the GIMP documentation. We have only those options, and we have 1 step for this component that's maintain the state of the input form of the text. So we have two kind of text form. That means we can add 2 line of text on the image. One we call text top and one we call bottom. And by default, the text top is serving to add some text on the top of the image. Text bottom is supposed to add something in the bottom of the image. And by default, we centerize those texts in the middle of the image, in the center of the image. Okay. Is this declared outside of the function? You means here? Because actually, usually we will put it in another file and then import it here. I just put it here because it's yeah, it's easier to follow, and also it's you can see the connection here. But if you have like more than 10 constant here, then you should think about creating a new file that's maintain those constants, just like our constant here, right? And then import it into the side menu. So the constant here is not belong to the component, right? It's actually controlling the component. Is form data object the same as form data in Postman? Correct. Yes. The form data object you have in the action here is exactly the same as form data here in the Postman when you create a new use. Okay, come back to our side menu. We have use state, right? So let's import use state. Just import it, import use state. Okay. So we connect with the selected meme from the global store, selected meme using the use selector. Let's import it. Import it, okay. And the loading, we also connect it to the global store. Okay, so this is the function to handle the form submit. When people click on the submit button. But the first step here, we're focusing on controlling the form. Right? So to write the form does work dynamically with our setup. Okay, let's bring this function here, and I will explain it later. So now we focusing on this part. So here we have 2 forms, right? 2 forms to submit the text. Right? And we want our code to generate the form for us dynamically. So let me remove the form here. Let's remove everything here, and let's bring this code to here, and I will explain it. Okay, so we start with the form. Then on submit is handled by this function. So far we still do nothing with the submit. And here is do I miss something here? Okay, so here is a map function. I'm missing one line here. So this should be text.map text.map. Okay, basically the main idea is I have the text here. That's is containing the set configuration here for two texts, and then I run a map function, and in the map function here, I have the objects. Usually, I have text here, right, and followed by the index. So that way I can get the index will be 1, 2, or 0, 1, etc. And the text here is the content that we have here, right? And then we destructure those things so that we don't have to type the text dot something so many times. So here we're going to destructure the ID, the content, and the color, size, alignment X and alignment Y. Right? Color, size, alignment X and alignment Y. Okay. So we we use a map function in the text and destructure the component of one specific text here. Right? And destructure the ID, the content, the color, etc. So the ID will be passed into the div key equal ID here, and everything inside will be wrapped by this div with the key equal ID here. And inside that, inside the div is the title text followed by the index plus 1, because index here is start with 0. Start with 0, so index plus 1 will be text 1 here. And followed by that is the form group. The first one is the text content here, which is a form controller type text. The value equal content, which is this one. And when we change the content here, we need to handle the edit input. Right? This is the function that I need to explain here later on, but the handle input here, it will handle all of the change of the input inside this box. But the problem is, usually we can, inside the handle input here, we don't know where is that input box. So inside the handle input edit input here, we have no idea where this form control belongs to. Like, what does it belong to? Belongs to text 1 or text 2, right? We don't know. So that's why we need to pass a objects that define the address to this form control. To define the address to this form control. First is the text ID, which is the ID here, which is the ID of the text. The ID here is the text bottom or text top. The type of the content. The type of the content here. The type is the content, which means this input box is for the content, and the value is the event.target.value, which is everything inside this text box. To check whether it's worked or not, you can open the component, right? Component, and click on the form. Right? Click on the form here. Click on the side menu here, and you can see in the side menu here, you can control the state of that component. So here we have two states for text top and text bottom. Right? And when I type something here, you can see it is updated here. It's updated in the 0 with the ID text top and content, and then here. When I type something here, it will be updated here. Okay. One more thing. Next is the color and the select box here. The select box here, the value of the select box is generated by the arrays that we define on the top. The colors here is defined here. That's contain only black and white. And here we generate colors, map, and generate a bunch of options with the color. So those text box, those select box here is follow the same pattern, but the only change is the array of constant that we define on the top of the file. Okay, so the last piece of code is this handle input, handle edit input, and here we have some trick. This is pretty tricky because we want to update the state, this state, and this is a list of objects. Right? So we have object inside an array. And in order to update those things here, the structure of this object is quite complicated. Right? So we have object inside array. Right? And in order to update this, but still keep the other information, we need to copy the state into the temporary variable, the temp. But the way to copy it is we convert the text, all of the value in the text here to string, and then convert it back to to JavaScript. The reason for that is because okay, let me give you an example. If I do constants a equal an array of two objects. And inside each object here, I have name. This one is Ming, and here name Hua. Oops, this should be quote here. Okay. Now, if I do let temp equal a, right, and then I change temp 0. Right. dot name equal Vidna. If I hit enter, and now I can see temp. So now in temp, we have name is Vidna and name is Hua, right? Nothing special. But if I look into A, if I look into A, the name in A is also changed to Vidna, which is something I really don't want to. I just want to to change the value in temp, but not in A, right? So you can say, okay, so let's use the copy syntax. Let's use the copy syntax. Temp equal dot 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 A, right? So you think that is a copy from A already, right? So now it's temp is name Vidna and Hua, right? So let me change temp 0 dot name. Let's change it back to Ming. Right? Enter. You might think that I have copied A to temp, and now I can change temp without changing A. But let's take a look at A. So the name in A is also changed to Ming. Right? So this doesn't work. This copy syntax is only copy the element inside A, and because the element inside A is object, which means so the element in A is, I mean, A0 is actually just a reference to an object. It's not contain the pure value. And that's why, I mean, A0 here is maintained by JavaScript, which contain a reference to an object that contain this value, but not the original object. So when you do temp equal dot 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 A here, it doesn't work. It just copy the value to, or the address to this object, but not really deep copy this object. Yeah, so this is something you need to notice when you have object inside array or array inside object, and you want to copy it without and then change the value without affect the original one. Thank you, Hua, for the terminology. But you haven't have this problem before because before that, right? Before that, you have something looks like this. You have constant, and which is contained on an object, and name is Ming, and let's say email is Ming at cs.com, example, right? And here, if you do temp equal, and you copy everything in B, like this, and then you change temp dot name equal Hua, example, right? Then temp, the name in temp is changed to Hua, but the name in B is still Ming. The reason is when you copy everything here, the object or the attribute of B, which is name and email, those are like, you can think about it as simple primary data type, which is a string. So a name and email here actually contain the value, right? And then when you copy it, this is a deep copy to temp, and then when you change anything in temp, it doesn't affect B. The reason is those value is a primary type of JavaScript, like string and or number, whatever. But if you have inside name here is an object, then this doesn't work. Yes, we run into this problem on the first day of Redux with the Vietnam. Right? Okay, so this is kind of intermediate problem actually when you want to write dynamic UI. Dynamic UI is like this. You define the UI based on an JSON objects. This is a string of objects. So So now let me, if I remove this one, right, if I remove this one and save it, you can see the UI here is changed to one text only. It's changed to one text only. Or if I want to copy this one and add one more text here, right, in the UI, I will have text tree down here. So without changing anything down here, right, I can manipulate this state to generate a bunch of form for me, right, automatically. Right. So this is called dynamic UI. Your UI is depend on some data, right? And you write some code with like everything here is nothing new, right? You write some code with the array method map. That's it, just look into the set of text here and generate a bunch of UI down here dynamically. And you can control your UI here using by controlling this object. This could be helpful if you want to have a feature that user can click on a button here that's add a new text form, right, when they want. We can also write the feature, create a feature that's this text can be changed dynamically based on an on-click event of a button example. Right? So it is quite simple, right? We just need to append a kind of new objects to define a new text form to this using the set text here. Right? We can dynamically change this state text and also change the UI on the website according to the data inside text. Okay, so this is quite advanced feature. I just want to show you as an example. Maybe you can use this later on, maybe not. It's totally okay if you have two form here, right? So just write it twice. Um, but yeah, it's going to be long, and it's also like not a so cool way to build the UI like that. Okay. Okay. So next here, I will fix the note here. In the last step here, we will submit the value in the text here to the server to update the meme here. And that is the last step. Okay, because we are going to connect to the API, we need to create three type of actions. To update the memes, and that's actions, meme action. Yeah. We take in a text and the meme ID. So text here is just the object text that we have in the side menu here. We will send this object. It contains everything we need, and we just need to send this text to the server. And because in our server we code the text in the exactly the same way, right? You can compare it to our Postman here. Update meme require a text look like this, right? So it's exactly the same structure with our text here. So we only need to put the text here in a body, that means wrap it with a curly brace and send it to API memes followed by the meme ID to update the meme. And don't forget to add this into this list of export. Okay, the last thing is to update the meme, the reducer, update the meme reducer here. To start the update request, we just need to turn the loading to true. Update meme success. Update meme success. We also put it here, right? Update meme success. So we update, and Okay, let's let it be for now. And we have, if it's failed, then we just turn the loading to false. Okay, so let's test this. When I click on update, upload, click on this one, open, take this image, and now I can say hee hee, haha, and click submit. Oh, we haven't dispatched the action. We haven't dispatched the action in the, yes, we haven't dispatched it. In the selected meme, yes, side menu here. In this one, we need to dispatch the action to update the meme. Right? Okay, so in order to do that, we need to have the constant dispatch equal use dispatch here. Dispatch use dispatch. Okay, and here we dispatch the meme action dot update meme request. And here we pass text and we pass the ID of the meme, which is the selected meme dot ID. We need to import the meme action. We need to import it. Why it doesn't import for me? Slash redux slash action. Okay, click upload. This one, hi, haha. Oh, I need to take this image. Okay, and submit. Okay, meme not found. Meme not found. Let's check. Oh, okay. So we haven't have the ID of the meme here. So it's show me undefined. Undefined. Let's check the Redux. In the Redux here, we have create meme success. And in the state here, we have selected meme. Right? Inside selected meme, we have the ID. Oh, okay. Oops, that's it. Selected meme.id, which is, it should work. Let me run it again. Update meme fail. We're okay, so we are still sending undefined to select the meme.id, meme actions, meme ID here. So why we don't have oh, okay. This one more parenthesis too many. Yeah, this is, I wrap it with a parenthesis. So this is describing you guys' status now. Okay, click submit. And we have 200 here. We have 200 here. And click on gallery. we can say, see, ha, 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 ha here, and come back here. There are nothing here. The reason is this image, right? This image is, if we click on this one, we can see the source is still the old image that we upload to the server. It's not the new image that we received from the server, and that's the reason why we have this line in the last steps. This line is to update the local image URL, which is the URL that we show on the home page. Let me edit here. After we have updates, update meme success, right? Update meme success. Here, right? Oh, okay. I need to copy this. Yeah. Oh, I put it in the wrong place. Sorry. Update meme success should be here. Should be here, and this should be down here, and it should be inside the selected meme. It should be here, inside the selected meme. Okay, go into phones. Okay, now let's come back here. Let's try again with another meme. So now let's pick the color white, maybe. And okay, we need to take this first. You can see the size of the image is now changed. Right? Before we have a bigger image, right? And this image has been updated because we uploaded to the server, and the server resized the image, right? And it's also we also see the refreshed image here, and we click hit. Okay, so now it's ha 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 right here. Okay, I think that is the last feature of our application. And okay, I will submit this code first. This is a working feature. It's commit and stack 10. Okay, so now let's spend time for Q&A. Q&A, and I will help you to debug if you have any. Okay, so let me pause the recording to keep it